Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
Hey guys, welcome into the Packers Total Access post-game show. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Emilio in Tennessee. We got Jacob in Wisconsin. We got Tim in Green Bay to talk about this tough loss here to the Carolina Panthers as they get a last-second field goal to win it in a windy Lambeau Field. And, man, it really paid off for them to take the win with the coin toss, right? Absolutely huge there. I know there's a lot of debate most of the time of whether you should take the ball first or defer and this and that. In a windy situation, that's why you always take the win. Forget whether you like to get the ball first. Forget whether you like to get the ball after halftime. Man, you just take that ball or you take the win every time, anytime it's over 15 mile an hour for sure. So, obviously, that ended up playing a huge factor in the game. Just to lead things off, middle eight, Carolina wins the middle eight 7-6. And they also won the turnover differential 2-1 by my count. You guys correct me if I miscounted that. I didn't keep up with it too closely today. But anytime you lose the middle eight, you lose the turnover differential, you're going to lose the ball game. I mean, you got a snowball's chance in hell of coming out there on the win. What I'm going to do, guys, is start to hit some of these super chats real quick because they're already backed up. And then we'll get everybody's – you know what? Let's get the initial. If you guys will be patient, I apologize. If you got a super chat, throw it in there. I promise we're going to hit them all. And we've already got a bunch here. But everybody, let's go around the horn one time. Your take on the game, maybe what you thought. I mean, just whatever you're feeling here tonight. Obviously, it's a tough loss as the Packers fall to, 5-2-1 now. The good news is the Lions lost as well, right? So you're still going to be sitting atop the NFC North, although the Bears won, so now it kind of becomes a three-team race, which is really interesting, right? But let's just go around the horn. Emilio, start us off, man, since you're up in the upper right. What's your initial thoughts on this loss to the Carolina Panthers, 16-13?
Yeah, kind of brutal. Red zone efficiency, third down efficiency, and stopping the run. I think the Lions' defensive line were an issue and where we kind of lost the battle. And, yeah, not being able to convert when you had the ball. And like they were saying, we're averaging 5-6 possessions a half. We got 3 in the first, and you're not converting any of them. Yeah, we didn't punt, but we didn't get points. So just a rough game, and that's why you don't sit on that plus 13.5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And obviously, you led off with the run there. The number one key in our defensive game plan was stop their run. As we said, the Panthers currently ranked 10th in yards per rush, attempt at 4.6. Rico Dowdle leads their rushing attack with 5.7 yards per carry. He's a solid back. That dude can run the freaking football. He was making chicken salad out of chicken, you know what, all day long. He brings a combination of ball carrier vision and burst, already tallying 16 explosive runs, 21. Let's see he broke the 15 mile an hour mark 16 times, right? And he actually cracked the 20 mile an hour mark once already this year. So obviously the game plan should have been geared around stopping Rico Dowdle. And the big thing we noticed when we talked about it offline here, Jacob, and I'll turn it over to you, is it seemed like once Kobe Wooden left with the injury, all of a sudden the running game kind of broke loose for them a little bit. Maybe we're underselling Kobe Wooden, because you could see a big difference in the run game for the Carolina Panthers once he did go down. But what's your initial thoughts? You got anything to add to that there as well?
No, I agree with that. It was tough. We absolutely didn't show up today. We just didn't. And that's, we're not going to sit here. I highlighted a comment here by Trey Russ, and, he goes, can't wait to hear, hey, it's the NFL. Panthers aren't that bad. Well, guess what? You're going to hear it.
Hold up a second. I'd rather you not highlight it. If you're going to be a smart-ass, leave, bro. It's that simple.
Well,
we're here to talk ball. We're here to talk about what happened in the game. If you're just going to come in here and be a troll and act like an idiot like that, you can leave. Take your super chat with you, Hosscat. Ain't no big deal to us. Ain't no big deal to me. I don't know about the rest of the guys, which it ain't no big deal to me at all. So if you're going to be a smart ass, just go listen. There's going to be about 2 or 3 other streams right down the road from you. You can go tune into them and you can get all that out, man. All that out. All right. We're going to talk about what.
Sit your butt outside.
That's the way it is. I will proudly send you a refund for the $2 or whatever it was you sent there too. But go ahead, Jake. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just, like that's what it is, Trey. And yeah, if you don't want to hear that, like Clayton said, it's just, it's the NFL, man. These guys get paid. Like Tim said, like they came in there, they played a damn good ball game. And to be honest, it was us that let them win, that game. I'll be honest with that. I'll say we absolutely dropped the ball many, many times. The penalties, the interceptions, the turnovers, the lack of effort in certain situations, 100%. That was our fault. But like, you have to own it. And it's just, for people to make those sorts of comments are lacking the observation that we went into this game as the top of the NFC. Like, we got to just stop. The world is not falling now. That was a bad game for sure. Coach Lynn says that Savion fumble killed us. We played behind the rest of the time. I agree with that too, Coach. Like, it felt like the Philadelphia Eagles game where that initial turnover just kind of put us behind the 8 ball. It really did. And we're not here to sugarcoat, but we're not here to pile on. Like we're not Viking fans. I'm not a Lions fan. Tim, Emilio, are you guys Bears fans? Like, I thought we were Packer fans.
How dare you? How dare you? Don't you ever.
Here's the thing that gets me. The Carolina Panthers are now 5-4.
That's a good team.
Like, whether they're good, bad, or not, and this is the thing that bothers me is the people who all week long are saying, we better boat race them, we better beat them, we better beat them. Then when they lose, they go, oh, see, told you. What? There's no winning with that type of fan. That's why I would rather just ignore it. Again, there's other streams you can watch. There's 6 other live streams right now for a post-game show. If you want to pretend like a team that has won 5 games and lost 4 in the National Football League is a team that you just beat them by 30 points, you're looking at the game unrealistically. And that's okay if that's how you want to fan. But don't come in here acting like we're all going to go into fairy tale land. And what it is, it's that fan that's just kicking and screaming all the time. I've seen it all over Twitter. We need to throw the football. We need to throw the football. I can't believe it. We were averaging, and I won't say the name, but it's a well-known Packers podcaster saying we need to throw the football. We were averaging, what was it, right at 6 yards? Or no, it was over 6. I think at that point it was 6.9 yards per carry we were averaging. And they're screaming throw the ball. Love throws the interception. Forget we shouldn't throw the ball now. Now it turns into, well, Jordan Love shouldn't throw it in double coverage. Why do you think they weren't throwing the ball? Because they're showing shell looks with 25-mile-an-hour wind, and we're running for damn near 7 yards clip. Now, they shut the run down in the second half, and you start to get the pass game going a little bit. But anyway, that's just how everybody acts like there's just this one little answer. It's the answer to all problems, and it's just not the case. They get paid too. They're reacting to what we're doing. They're constantly adjusting to what we're doing. And, again, was it a pretty game? No. Yep. The Packers should have won that ball game. But how many times do you have to watch a week of the NFL before you realize this happens every week? The Lions just got beat at home by the Vikings, who last week everybody was laughing at and making fun of, right? Anyway, I digress. Tim, your thoughts, man. And we're getting to the Super Chats next.
I'm going to try and be positive, as positive as you can be. Thought it was really telling in that second half that we found a way to punch that ball in the end zone, tie that ball game up. I think this team banded together despite losing, key players. We had Watson was out for a while. Tucker Kraft is out. We lost Matthew Golden. We found some success trying to get the ball to Rome. I saw Rome was making some great contested catches for us, helping us convert. We found a way to will ourselves into the end zone. Ultimately, just couldn't quite keep Carolina out of field goal range there at the end. I'm confident that, if we would have held up there towards the end and went to overtime, we might have won this ball game, honestly. But bottom line, we saw this coming, right? I mean, if you spend any time with us this week, breaking down this matchup, we saw this coming, right? We knew what was going to happen with the running attack from Carolina. And I thought at times our run D looked really good. And then there were plays where it was just like, what the hell is going on out here? But really, we said this all week, man. It's going to come down to how the run D looks and, how we're able to establish a run game. And, we really didn't establish a run game, and it was tough to throw the ball against Carolina today. So, like you said, Clayton, they're not all going to be pretty games. Ideally, you want to win even the ugly ones. This was one that just it got away from us. But I never felt like we weren't in this ball game until the very end when we watched that last kick go through the uprights. So
completely agree. And as Dead Fish points out, the Bears are actually, guys, they were up by like 2 scores just a second ago. That's wild. So they completely imploded. 54 seconds left, and the Bengals have the ball. They're up 42-41. We'll keep an eye on that for you guys and gals. I think everything you said is very well said, Tim. And again, I'm not happy with this. I expected the Packers to win this game, but you look up now. We were talking last week. We're in the 14 win range now, boys, right? We were talking about that last week. Remember that, Emilio? 14 wins is that's on the table now. Now we're back down to the 12-13 mark. And we've got fans acting like that's a horrible place to be. It's wild to me. So let's hit these super chats real quick, and we'll get everybody's take on them.
Can I say one thing real quick, Clayton?
Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
Just because I'm watching the chat, and some of you are obviously upset, and maybe upset that we've criticize people that criticize. The thing is that we continually try to be positive here, that's for sure, but we do call out stuff when we see it, we say it type thing. And so maybe if we'll pump the brakes on highlighting certain people that do stuff like that, but we have definitely, like, if you could see our group chat, if you could see what we do, this is not us just saying that there's no criticism that isn't deserved. We understand that. It's just when people start piling on and start being like the sky is falling, that sort of stuff, that's where we push back a little bit. So like everybody can fan the way they want to fan. We always say that. We want everybody's takes here in the chat. So like, don't feel like that you're getting pushed out. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying
Trey Russ just got pushed out. I want to be clear. Trey Russ just got pushed out. He's blocked. He's no longer watching the channel, which I don't know why he'd want to be on here anyway. He's miserable. Why would you want to come in here and just listen to people talk positive? We literally opened the show up with the Packers sucked in the middle late. They lost that. They sucked at protecting football. They lost the turnover differential. The game plan was stopping the run. They sucked at stopping the run. Emilio pointed out they sucked in the red zone. And then we got people in the chat saying, oh, y'all are fair weather friend. All y'all do is talk positive. Really? I haven't talked about a positive thing yet. What are you talking about? So again, we don't need to highlight it because there's no point in it. All it's going to turn into is an argument, and there's plenty of streams for them to go watch if they just want to be negative. I'm telling you, there's miserable, insufferable other streams. You can go jump in there and let's just jump on and pretend like we know more than an NFL head coach. So let's hit the super chats real quick. King Tron, you're going to see a lot of negative in these super chats. Everybody's got the right to be negative. There's nothing wrong with that. When you come in telling me that he's going to try to spin it in a positive manner, dude, get out. You don't need to be here. So King Tron with the super chat, thank you, buddy. One word: disgusted. Game was lost at the middle eight. Could not agree more, man.
Yep.
It's so important. You notice how the momentum was flat in the second half? Middle eight. That's what controls that. That again, first quarter, gather information. Second and third quarter is about making the adjustment and protecting the middle eight, because that's what controls the momentum into the second half. Fourth quarter standalone game. Thank you, John. Completely agree, buddy. Chris Casualin, kicker controversy, kicker talk, reignite. This is a conversation. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm not worried when Brandon McManus goes out there to kick a kick now. Last week I was concerned I wasn't as concerned because it's the injury, right? Well, here's the problem. Somebody said it the other day. I think it was Mark Tauscher, who played the game, battled through injuries. You guys know Mark Tauscher's career, right? Awesome Wisconsin Badger, played a long time for the Green Bay Packers. He said when someone over the age of 30 starts to have tissue injuries, like a calf injury or whatever, muscle stuff like that, it doesn't just magically get better. It typically 9 times out of 10, it gets worse. So them protecting themselves, having Haversick, and I know we just signed McManus to a 3-year deal, and I'm not saying we would get rid of him, but you can get rid of him because the guaranteed money is all that really matters in those contracts, right? If you have to move on. So now what I'm seeing is he may be completely healthy now. I'm going to go to Tim on this because Tim, likes to kicker talk. He may be completely healthy now, but the problem is you're in your head now. You're overcompensating. You're trying to, and it don't help that you had those crosswinds. I mean, you've seen the goal post at times, right? The vertical post or whatever, they were the uprights were waving back and forth. But nonetheless, is there a kicker controversy? We'll go around the horn with that real quick, and then we'll move on to the next super chat.
I mean, I think there is. I mean, it's in, as a fan base, we see Haversick come in and kick lights out for us. We get all excited about the, substitute teacher kicking footballs for us, helping us win games, franchise record, all of that. But, we extended McManus for a reason, right? There's a reason why we wanted to keep him around. And dealing with a quad injury, that's tough, especially when you're, an OG vet and a little bit older like Brandon is. And we can talk about how that was handled. But at the end of the day, I'm with you, Clay. I'm not overly concerned about McManus's ability to kick the football. I do think it was windy as hell today. and it's not an excuse. It's just the elements that everyone had to deal with. Yeah, man. And let's be honest, Haversick is not hot anymore. I mean, he's been sitting on his ass the last 2 weeks. So the idea that you're going to bring him in and magically fix all these issues, I don't think that's accurate either. So I don't know if there's a kicker controversy. It might be a controversial topic right now amongst the fan base. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go with the experienced veteran, who's kicked in big time games, numerous times, has dealt with adverse conditions before. I'm not completely shocked or upset that he pushed one today for us in that windy stadium. It is what it is.
Yeah, I never felt comfortable all day long when the kicker was on the field. I'm telling you.
Neither.
And then at the end, obviously they got the wind at their back, but it does swirl a little bit. You got to tip your cap to him, man. Fitzgerald hit a hell of a ball there, man. Hit it right down the middle, right? So, King Sean with the super chat, thank you, buddy. It's hard watching this A-plus team fall flat. Prayers for 85. Yeah, the Tucker Kraft thing, man, that took the wind out of my sails. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, man.
Like this dude, Mandy came up here. She was almost in tears because she was talking about his backstory and everything and how he grew up and all the hardship they had and stuff with his mama and everything. It was tough to see him on that cart, man. He's the heart and soul of this team. So
let's pray for a negative X-ray and MRI and all that stuff, right?
Sounds like
hopefully it's like a bruise or something really bad.
Yeah, H.E. Soda with the super chat. Wide screens are just playing with your food. Why, Matt LaFleur? And once you crap the bed with the 100th widescreen, just kick the field goal inside the 20. It's funny, Soda, that you say that because I was still on board with kicking the field goals. And I was willing to accept you may miss them because it was so bad out there, right? Emilio, how do you feel about that, man? Would you rather take that field goal inside the 20? And do you have anything else to add to Soder's super chat there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still a little for wide screens. I think it's something you can lean on. We have to kind of stretch them horizontally when, we were kind of running the ball decent, but then you get a little bit of issues up front. Banks goes out, Ryan goes in at left guard. Then you got, Morgan having things here and there. And I probably would have taken the points. But again, you got the wind, you got edges, and like the Panthers weren't slowing down. They were going for it on fourth. If we're going to keep up, if everybody would have been, I feel like you would have been mad if Matt didn't do it. And he went back to what kind of, I think he saw something on that first one when they did that shuffle motion and threw Emmanuel Wilson out on the swing of the first time and hit Romeo on that quick slant. They came right back to it because they liked the look. Malik Heath just didn't get up under the guy and get the block out. And if that would have happened, they were manned up. They had enough. They had the hat count to take it upfield. So not horribly mad at it, but yeah, I probably would have taken the points.
Yeah, definitely. King Sean with the super chat. If we could play in the mid of our potential top three, I think he's just saying if we could play up to our potential, we're a top three team. Is that how you're taking that, Jacob? How do you take that super chat there?
I think that is correct. That's what I would read from that. Yeah.
That's the crazy thing about the NFL, man. Every single week, right? The talent gap is just so close. Like I said, you had some people saying the Panthers were one of the worst teams in the league. I heard Tauscher say that this week, and I was like, how the hell they win 4 games if they're the worst team in the league? Like, how do we get to that?
They're one game behind Tampa. Tampa's at 6-2. They're 5-4.
And they were 10th in the league in yards per carry run. They can run the football, right? I mean, they've got big holes. They got way more holes than the Packers do. There's no doubt about that, right? And most teams in the league, but any given Sunday, man. Any given Sunday. Biz 1987 with the super chat. First nice long drive ended in a fumble. Dowdle destroyed us. Love with poor play. Another missed field goal. Can't get much worse. And Kraft hurt. It's hard to disagree with any of that. Jacob, you got anything to add to that super chat from Biz 1987? Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
No, it's just, some days it just doesn't go your way. And this was it. This was a negative day. And like we said, man, we acknowledge it when it happens to like what Biz said. McManus did not look good. It doesn't help that we got literally a 30-mile-an-hour wind gust going to the point where both teams had to have a guy come out and put their little finger on the football so we can kick it off. It wasn't great. And I'll be honest, I didn't like some of the play calls, didn't like some of the results of some of those play calls, didn't like the performance from certain players. Does it mean I'm ready to throw my jersey? Like, what do you want to do? If you're going to be negative, what do you want us to do? Should we throw our jerseys out of the freaking windows and just say, all right, we're going to not ever do the podcast again? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to be negative? I just don't understand the person
that got me on somebody on Twitter. What was they they were just piling on about Matt LaFleur. I'm like, so we're firing them this week? Is that what we're doing this week? Because last week everybody was all, boy, we boat raced the Steelers on the road. Which did they end up beating the Colts? They were leading.
Yeah, they did.
They did beat the Colts.
Yeah, Colts had 4 turnovers all year. They had 4 turnovers today.
There you
So
go.
it's like sometimes you just get a swing.
So the Steelers beat the best team in the AFC, and we beat the Steelers at home by 10 points last week. And Jordan Love he was literally the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, right? And now we're firing LaFleur again, and Jordan Love's trash, right? And Soder's not saying that, just or whoever it was, the last one there. Biz isn't saying that. I'm just saying, like, in general, that's how people are responding. Guys, this happens every week. You're going to drop games you should win. The key is win more than you lose, obviously, of those games that you should win. But Soder with the super chat, thank you, he says, I get wanting to go wide early as Buffalo killed them with that, but after the first quarter, just stopped. 6 points given up at home, and you get an L. So stupid. Here's the thing. I got to push back a little bit, Soder. I didn't see we're going wide too often. I seen us throwing into double and triple coverage down the field.
Yeah.
Like, that's the opposite of going wide too much, right? Like, that's just like the no-name podcaster that was screaming, we need to throw the football more. I'm going, are we watching the same game? Like, we're averaging over 6 yards a carry. Jordan Love just threw an interception, and you just tweeted we need to throw the football more? Like, I honestly think that had a lot to do with the play calling, and it's, well, Jordan's just lofting it up into double and triple coverage. Guys, you think the wind didn't have a factor in that, right? So for me, Soder, I don't
mean like when Jordan's throwing directly into the wind and we got to hear Greg Olsen talk about it being an underthrown ball?
Yes.
Did you hear their reaction when they hit the game-winning field goal? These are supposed to be neutral announcers. Bro, Greg Olsen all day long sounded like a Chicago Bear calling the game. And listen, if we had James Jones calling the game against the Bears, he'd probably sound similar, right? But it is what it is in that regard. It's just him saying they need to throw the football more. They need to throw the football more. Then Jordan Love throws the interception because the wind is just absolutely crazy, right? And then he goes quiet. It's like no longer is he saying they need to throw the football more.
Also an ex-Panther, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Big time.
Thank you for the super chat, Soder. Appreciate you. King Tron with the super chat. All you want Carolina is a 5-win team. Kick rocks.
Thank you, King Tron, my man.
Yeah, thank you for the super chat. Not sure what that. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Thank you, bub. Appreciate it. Brambo with the super chat. We are lacking a hot man. LOL. Go Pack Go. Give 2 of this to Toby. Who's Toby?
Toby Flenderson.
Toby.
My name is Toby.
I'm losing my mind tonight. Am I like a different?
No,
People are so mad. They're just like randomly
I think
throwing.
we're just rage texting right now. That's what's going on.
Like, I'm genuinely asking, am I missing something? Like, ask one. B, all you want Carolina a 5-win team. Kick rocks.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's how you said it better. Be all you want, Carolina. You're just a 5-win team. Kick rocks.
There we go. Okay.
See, that's why I'm asking for help. I'm not being smart.
No, you just needed to reread it. I just needed a little help too. We're good.
Absolutely. That's what we do. We lean on each other. Rambo, thank you for the super chat, man. I don't know who Toby is, but lacking a hot man. I don't know if you're talking about the team or not.
I'll be Toby. Give me that $5.
There you go. Take that $5, man. Thank you. Thank you, Brambo. Appreciate you, buddy. H.E. Soder with the super chat. He says, positive. I love it. We can easily replace the kicker. So he's saying we're replacing the kicker. So I blame Chris in for this because he's the one who sparked he did say kicker talk reignite, didn't it? So thank you, Soder. Appreciate it, man. Jerry A5940 with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Again, the sky isn't falling, and the Bengals are going to win against the Bears. Unfortunately, Jerry, they should have. You're right, sir. But man, what a game that must have been. I'm going to go back and watch that one. To be honest with you, get that on TV copy. Cut, the shortened down version. But yeah, thank you, Jerry. Appreciate the super chat, man. Sucks that the Bears did pull that out. Reggie with the super chat. Red zone play calling on offense wasn't good today. What's your all's take on that? Because I don't remember anything specifically where I was like, they should have done this different in the red zone. I know on that last drive, I was thinking, run the ball 4 times. Okay. And if we don't get it, we don't deserve to win. Let's don't get too cute here is what I was thinking. And obviously they did that. And Josh Jacobs muscling his way, that ball right beyond the plane. Obviously a great play there. So Tim, what do you think about that, man? And I want to get Emilio's take. Well, all of you, but Emilio, you're kind of more in tune with the red zone play calling, it seems like. But Tim, what do you think about the red zone play calling? Does anything stick out to you?
I think Reggie's not like totally off with that statement, right? I mean, it wasn't great, certainly. I don't know if it was terrible or bad, and he's not saying that. He's saying it wasn't good.
Right.
And obviously our red zone efficiency was, something to be desired. I can think of a couple plays that, we had 3rd and shorts, and it looked like, again, we're running laterally to pick up 3 yards, or we're throwing in the backfield and not moving forward. But yeah, I don't think it was good. I don't think that's a knock. I don't think it was terrible, but I would agree with Reggie here. Wasn't good today.
Got it. Appreciate the super chat there, Reggie. Amelia, you got anything you want to add? Does anything stick out to you about the red zone?
Just tough because, I liked getting wide just because that last one where Jordan almost threw the pick to Rome, they had 3 high safety across the top and then had like a cover 3 underneath that. So it was just like a 2-layer wall of players. So I almost wanted to see in that last drive when we rushed it 3 times, we need to go power eye or something. I need Jordan under center. I kind of want to get out of that shot. I like it, but I kind of want to get out of that shotgun. Let Jacobs get downhill and have it a 1 or 2 way go. Reading the D, can at the line, pick your side. But it's just we needed to not. I think Jordan was trying to get it in chunks in the red zone, and we needed pieces of it to get there. We couldn't take it all at once, just the way they were playing that. Maybe like a little shallow screen or something. We just needed Matt to, you could still get that wide look with a shallow or, a double mesh or something like that. We needed to be able to catch him in a hole there.
Yeah.
Got it.
The one thing I saw that I remember is I can't remember the exact down distance and all that, but I think it was like a bunch trips formation left where they did like a kind of a behind the line of scrimmage. Was that the play that Savion fumbled the ball? I just didn't like that call necessarily in that sequence right there where I think it was Dobby that was trying to block in front of him, and then Savion just didn't go down and
smoke. Yeah,
Savion
should have got outside of that for
just
sure.
Get outside and go out of bounds, take the loss, and you know what I mean. Like you probably would have gained 2 yards or whatever, but that just kind of set the formation for the whole game. And it's tough.
It's a momentum killer for sure, Jacob. That was probably the most important play of the day, to be honest with you. That really set the tone. We're like, oh crap, it's going to be one of those days, right? We've seen it over and over and over. King Tron with the super chat. Thank you, Tron. He says Matt says Tucker doesn't look good. Praying emoji. To me, and listen, I'm no doctor, obviously, nor do I play one on TV. It looked like an ACL to me. The way that thing kind of, that's what it looked like to me. Emilio, what do you think right offhand? And Tim, I'll get your take too. If you had to guess, because it was more of a forward shot, right? But it kind of, to me, it looked like it caught the knee and jammed it backwards. And typically where you got that ACL running, in that knee, I could just see that thing kind of snap.
Yeah, no way. I mean, you can walk on it, but if literally all they got to do is take the top of your, the bottom of your thigh and the top of your calf and just work it back and forth. If that thing's loose, it's a wrap. So I'm proud of Tucker for keeping his head high riding off there, man. But it's just one of the worst things you see. But we got a guy that just came back from one of those. We know it's possible. We know Tucker's a grinding kind of dude. Let's just pray for whatever could be best out of that, maybe a sprain or something. But we'll have to see.
Got it. All right, up next, Jacob got the sun glaring in. I can't believe this. I forget that you guys have sunlight that much longer than us. We're almost dark out here, it seems like already. But anyway, Caterpillar. You got to say it like that, right? Caterpillar. MW92 with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, our 2 losses are by a total of 6 points. So I know this team, as it can be monstrous if they just tighten up. But do you think this convinces the front office to follow through with 1 or 2 of these trades? I'll tell you one trade probably won't go through, and that's the Musgrave one, right? Like, it sounds like 2 teams offered them a 5th-round pick for Musgrave, Tim, and now if Tucker's going to be out for a significant amount of time based off of, Coach LaFleur's initial comments, according to the chat, probably got to hold on to Musgrave because he knows this offense, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I don't know how we talked about if we were going to trade, we'd be trading for, like a one tech or somebody. We need somebody on the D line. Musgrave's name popped up. I don't think you can afford to do that now. So I don't know how you get in the mix to maybe, beef up the defense, because to me that would make if I was in the front office watching how we were against the run today, I'd be certainly thinking about trading for a defensive lineman right now. But who do you give up personnel wise, and who do you give up draft pick wise? We gave up the first for Micah. So, we're in a position where, and you know how Goody operates, right? He likes to cook in the draft, especially in the mid rounds too.
Right.
So giving up more draft capital after, making a power move to fleece Jerry Jones out of Micah Parsons. I don't know how many draft picks we're willing to part with right now, but long answer is, yeah, I'm hanging on to Luke Musgrave. I felt like he stepped up. You could see a lot of those looks. Those were calls for 85. Those were plays that, Tucker was going to be the target on those plays. And I thought Musgrave kind of filled in pretty nicely today in a pinch.
Yeah, it's kind of what Anthony's saying here in the chat too. Can we talk about Musgrave? He had some big catches today to extend some drives. I agree. And also there's a negative aspect to it too, Anthony, that I kind of seen was on that one play where he gets tackled short on a 3rd and whatever it was, like a 3rd and 7. And he just goes down so easy as my big talk. But then again, we're also spoiled by Tucker Kraft turning into a damn Tonka truck when he gets football, right? So it's
but how did Tucker Kraft get his start? Musgrave went down with a lacerated kidney, right?
That's right.
Yep.
So what happens when Musgrave comes back and gets a chance to actually get a couple more reps? It was clear as day when Matt went right after Tuck went down and Fitzpatrick was in, right? So our blocking guy is still Fitz, but I think that you get a little bit more love from Musgrave, a couple more looks. Yeah, it's not super smooth at the transition, but I think that he can run a route and get open. I mean, the dude has good hands.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. I do. DD44 with the super chat. McCarthy is available and lives down the road. ... I don't know if he's saying we should hire Mike McCarthy back and fire Matt LaFleur. Is that the way y'all are taking that?
I
spent
think
$2 to put that on the screen.
I think it's more just put him on the squad kind of thing.
Like let him play guard. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Not like that. But maybe like an offensive play. Maybe like what we thought.
I would be all about having Mike McCarthy be on staff as an analyst, like you see these college coaches do. Like they get fired to go in, and you got an extra head coach's eyes in the building. It will never happen because McCarthy was replaced by Matt LaFleur, right? So, Didi, I have the utmost respect for Mike McCarthy. I was one of the few fans that thought they shouldn't fire him, to be honest with you. I have since come to the realization Matt LaFleur is a better head coach than Mike McCarthy. Just my personal opinion. I could be wrong. But, I would be okay with him being in the building. I don't think it's going to happen. That makes sense. So, Mike McCarthy, the class act. Dude, what I would like to see is somebody said the other day, add Mike McCarthy to the broadcast with Wayne Larrabee and Larry McCarron. Could you imagine?
There we go.
That would be awesome.
That'd be fun.
He does really good on the McAfee show. He's got a great sense of humor, too. And we got to have that Pittsburgh, that Yinzer accent back in there. So, Chris C with the super chat. Thank you, Chris. Can't think of anything positive to say, so I'm just going to donate. LOL. Chris, we appreciate you, buddy. We appreciate you. Yeah, thank you for the dono. And I understand exactly what you're saying. If somebody were to say, name a positive from today, let's do that. Let's go around the horn one time. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about a positive in today's game? The first thing that comes to mind for me was we held them to 13 points. They ended up scoring 16 points, but I felt like the defense played pretty darn well. But then again, if somebody goes, Clayton, Rico Dowdle rushed 25 carries for 130 yards, I got to go, all right, I'm just going to shut up. That's a good point. You know what I mean? So that is the first thing that comes to mind for me, though, is the defense. But what do you guys think about that?
I'd go Musgrave.
Musgrave? Okay.
For sure.
I'll go with what I said at the top, just the offense finding a way to finally put a damn drive together and get us in the end zone and equalize that game. Despite, again, Greg Olson's repeated comments about why are we not going for 2 in that situation, as if it doesn't make sense to tie the damn game after you finally get in the end zone. So the positive for me is this team, despite struggling offensively all night, finding a way to equalize that game. It just went the wrong way for us, guys. We were never not in this one.
Yeah, and like to your point, Tim, what you're saying is the game was on the line, and Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur took the team right down the field and scored the tying score. I think it's a great positive. Emilio, what positive do you got, man?
Yeah, mine would probably have to be the passing defense against Bryce Young. We held them to 102 yards, 11 of 20 with a pick, under 5 yards a pass. So I think that they really stepped up. And honestly, Jay Love was cooking to 265, 26 of 37. What I really like about our offense is when we're in kind of the hurry up or the turbo look, I think Matt needs to lean into that a lot more. Honestly, I don't care if I mean, I get we have a defense. So that's why we have the hockey line on the D line. Let's keep rotating them. Barron Terrell only got 1 snap. So, like, if we need to get the offense moving quickly and have shorter possession times, then later on in the game we can work the clock. I think, first, second, third, we can work that hurry-up offense a lot more. I think Jordan looks super comfy in the 4-minute, 2-minute offenses, and I think that's something that Matt may need to lean into, especially against, the opponents we have coming up.
Got it. Chris the Casual in with the Super Chat. Interior O-line, what's the best combo for the remainder? Man,
I don't know. Whoever the hell's healthy.
Yeah, Aaron Banks left the game, right? Did anybody else leave that y'all know of? Is Aaron Banks, how many snaps did he play, Emilio? Any idea how many?
Aaron Banks, I had at 9. Let me double check. I want to say it was 9 snaps.
That's why we saw Sean Ryan at left guard, I think.
Got it. And it was amazing, too, because they held the hell out of Gary on that touchdown run by Dowdle. I tweeted it out, showing him literally bear hugging him from behind, no flag. And I said, if I'm an NFL coach, that's what I tweeted out, I'm telling my line, hold every play. They're not calling it hold. Next drive, we got called for 2 holds. I was like, this is unbelievable.
Yep. Aaron Banks, 9 snaps, 6 pass blocking, 3 run blocking.
There you go. So
who we miss? Travis Glover. I haven't brought his name up in a little bit of time.
Come on, man.
Let me just say right now, we are missing my boy Glove more than you even know.
Can I – who else that today had a day? Did you guys see Josh Nyman spike the ball after that Rico Dowdle had one of those touchdowns?
Oh, was
no,
it?
Yeah.
That seems to be the common theme when a player leaves Green Bay. Boy, they love to try to come back and get revenge for whatever reason, right? So, So enjoy it out there in Carolina, bub. Enjoy it. King Tron with the super chat. That kick rocks was for those saying Carolina was a bad team. All right. Complain all you want about our loss. Carolina is a good team this year. I mean,
they're no New York Jets. Come on now.
Right. And listen, I'm not saying they're a top 10 team, right? We should have won this ball game on paper. If it was played on paper, we should have won this ball game, right? But I'm with you though. That portion of the fan base is trying to make Carolina sound like they're a bottom 5 team in the league. And it's just not the case. You can't go 5-4 or just say 4-4 and be, one of the 5 worst teams in the league. It just doesn't. Thank you for the super chat, Sean. Thank you for clearing that up, buddy. It's my ignorance. I'm this dumb redneck's having a hard time.
See that comment, Emilio?
Oh yeah. Eric Sutherland said that he was going to take a break from us because he was super mad, and he said just as he started to calm down, I brought up Mr. Glover and fired him right back up again.
You know how that goes, boys.
You do that, you're going to get your ass kicked.
That's right. JG126 says with the super chat, thank you, Jake. On to Cincinnati. I'll learn and get better. Have a short memory. Philly up next. Obviously, the On to Cincinnati paying homage to Bill Belichick, who said it 33 times in one presser and then wrapped it up. So, listen, it's a great point, too. I want to say that on the Cincinnati game, that might have been when Bill Belichick and the Patriots got their rear ends kicked by the Chiefs in Kansas City and then go on to win a Super Bowl. I think they lost like 42-7 or something crazy in that game. They ended up going on to win a Super Bowl. So here we are, lost the last 2 or our 2 losses this year were a combined 6 points. You know what I mean? And we got people acting like the sky's falling. But Jake G126, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Godsmack with the super chat. Let's see what he says. Do you guys still have that trombone fart sound? Because that offensive performance was a wet fart of the juicy variety. That is way too much.
Poop my hand.
Godsmack, though, it was a rough look, man. Here's what's crazy. What was the over-under on Jordan Love, Jacob? You remember? 230?
It was like 239.5.
Jordan Love was 26-37, 273 yards passing, and no touchdowns, 1 pick. Had a rating of 80.1. He was only sacked 1 time. But, again, it's crazy. He blows the over-under out of the water, right? And you still feel like the offense had a bad game. And I agree with you, Godsmack. There was just I don't know, it didn't feel – the running game was the only thing that felt right to me, right? That was the thing that today was like, okay, the running game's going. That's why my mind was blown when I logged on to X and seen people saying we need to throw the ball, we need to throw the ball. I'm like, I feel like we're watching a different game, man. It's just crazy. Josh Jacobs averaged 5.1 yards a carry on the day. The team finished at a 4.2, but keep in mind, Savion Williams had a carry for no yards. Jordan Love had a scramble for 1 yard. So that really hurts that average as well. But, yeah, thank you guys, Matt. Appreciate you, buddy, for the super chat. Jason Y with the super says, last year they said this team couldn't beat good teams. In a weird way, I'd rather lose to bad teams. That's an interesting comment because, again, we went out and beat – they said, there's a good – I remember the media. There's a really good chance the Packers could start 0-2. You go out, you beat the Lions, you beat the Commanders, you come out the gate hot. I like what Jason was saying there. I can understand that stance. I don't know if I 100% agree with it, Jason. I see where you're coming from. Like, lose to a bad team here or there and beat the good teams probably feels a little bit better than beating all the bad teams and never being able to beat the good teams. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think that makes a bunch of sense. And I think that's why most of the fan base, and again, not trying to throw any shade on it, but it's like the NFL is it's going to be a complicated game each week and week out because of the fact that these guys are professionals. Like Tim says, they get paid too. Like, come on, like we got to be realistic here.
Yeah. And listen, the wind, man, Tom Brady always talked about this in New England. People would say, oh, how do you play in the snow? The snow ain't a problem. How do you play in the rain? The rain ain't a problem. It's the wind that's a problem, right? And I've seen people saying, somebody tagged me on a post on X, and they said, Matt LaFleur needs to wake up and realize this team is not built to run. They're built to throw. That wind don't give a rat's ass how your team's built, right? Like you can have somebody with the strongest arm. You don't believe me? Go back and watch that game between Buffalo and whoever it was a year and a half, 2 years ago, whenever it was, where they had that just crazy wind and nobody could throw the football. It wasn't nowhere near that. But you get a breeze, you get a gust of over 15 mile an hour. It affects the football. And again, when you throw it up and it gets picked off, everybody's complaining it was a bad decision. And when you're running the rock for 6 yards a clip, all of a sudden we need to be throwing the football. It's insane. So let's see. Doc Torganzo. Sounds like a pimp, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. With the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Burn the tape. Pray for the injured. Soldier on. Remember the 2010 Super Bowl Packers lost to a 6-10. I'm gonna say it. Redskins team, 13-16 in week 5. And you know what's crazy too, Tim? We talked about this recently. The 96 Packers lost to a really bad team, and they got blown out. Like I think it was week 6 or something of that season. Super Bowl teams lose these type of games. It happens. And I'm not saying it's a slam dunk the Packers are going to even make it to the Super Bowl, right? But the reality is that's what happens in the NFL. It's true.
Yeah, and I agree with the comment for the most part, except maybe before you burn the tape, you watch it 650 times and learn from what the hell happened. But yeah, it happens. I mean, it's like you're not going to beat every team 56-0, guys. Like you're going to have bumps and bruises on the way to the playoffs, hopefully, and contending for a championship. This is another reality check for this team, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, is that Nehemiah? Is that right?
Yep.
Look at me nailing it. Let's go. Nehemiah Bell Photography. Shout out to your photography business there, sir. If that's what it is with Super Chat. Thank you. Crazy how Carolina had offensive linemen getting hurt left and right, but the defensive front was still getting pushed around. I'm puzzled. I agree with that. Like, I felt like it was like every other play, offensive linemen were leaving. I'm like, why can't – first of all, I know why we wasn't getting a push in the passing game. It was what we talked about all week. It was a cage rush, right? And, again, what ended up happening – Bryce Young got out and picked up a first down on third down. You guys remember that scramble? I'm pretty sure it was a third down scramble. So he still hurt us a little bit, but for the most part, you didn't see him running all over the joint. And by the way, that cage rush worked, right? Bryce Young was 11 of 20 for 102 yards, an interception, no touchdowns, right? A rating of 48.3. However, them getting pushed around, like you're saying there, Nehemiah, was in the running game. It was a little bit mind-boggling. It was like, how are we – and it was almost like the entire defensive line was playing 2-gap as opposed to 1-gap penetration in a run. Emilio, do you know what I'm talking about? Did you feel like that today? Like it was just like something was missing in terms of stopping their run?
Yeah. And to that point, prelim numbers, but our bottom 4 players, Carl Brooks, 40 snaps, 55-4. Devontae Wyatt, 40 snaps, 53-8. Colby Wooden, 15 snaps, got injured out of the game, 44.9. And then Nate Hobbs at 19 with a 39.6. That, and when you were listening to Halfley earlier in the week, he was talking about that wall up front, right? You're trying to fill. Each guy's got a gap, and you can't be peeking, right? You can't be caught, engage with the dude peeking over the left, his left shoulder, and shed him early, because the running back can still peel that. And I think you saw in that one, end of the game there, Evan Williams just ran it over just a little bit, following the tight end. Not that the whole game was Evan's fault, but that's just one example. But I did think our linebackers were playing with speed, but they were just gashing us. I think having your bottom 4 graded players being your interior D lineman is an issue. And we lost the game in the trenches for sure, offense and defensive side. It's kind of just what happened.
Gotcha. That makes sense completely. All right, let's see here. Super chat. I think we got one more. Chester Marco. We got us a celebrity in the house with the super chat. Said, this is all my fault because I got distracted and didn't wear my 1972 Packers helmet. I promise you all this won't happen again. LOL. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the accountability there. And Mandy did that last week. Or no, it was when we lost to the Browns. She was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, yeah, hell, it happens, man. It's football. Teams lose every week. She's like, I didn't wear my Packers gear today. Like, I know that's why. I'm like, didn't have anything to do with their awesome run defense. It was you not wearing the right shirt. So,
no, to be fair, I think I didn't do my pregame dance. It was honestly my fault.
Are you kidding
I
me,
left at halftime as well because it was I share the blame, Chester. It's
unbelievable. You believe this guy, Emilio? What a dirtbag.
Me, Chester, and Mandy's fault. Sit your butts outside.
Yeah, all of yous.
I don't even want to talk to him.
Thank you for the super chat, Chester. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm going to go back and hit some of these that you started real quick, Jacob. Hopefully you're not teeing me up to get angry again, but here we go. Krista Casualan earlier said, Elton Jenkins, Aaron Banks, Jordan Morgan, the interior of our O-line is soft as marshmallows, y'all. Well, Aaron Banks left and got injured, obviously, so it's Sean Ryan in there. Perfect. I don't really have anything to add, Chris. Jacob, you marked it. Do you have anything to add to that?
I just, I think that there's some truth. Like we will say that, like, I think what Emilio said was true, is that the interior of both trenches kind of let us down. Rico Dowdle kind of blasted through the interior of the defense, and I think that our interior defense didn't give Love enough time to actually set up and make his throws in the right way. So that, I think that's a valid point. Like, we're not going to sit here and pretend like we were perfect while we lose. We played pretty crappy in certain situations, and yeah, I understand that.
All right, cool. Nick McSwain said, team is going to be fine. Look around the league. Lions just lost to the Vikings. Are the Lions frauds? No, I agree. They're a good football team.
Right.
Parity in the NFL is higher than it's been in a while. It's the NFL. Could not agree more.
Thank you, Nick McSwain.
Yes.
It's almost as if this Packers team wasn't coming off a 3-game win streak, and we dropped a tough one at home. We'll be all right. We're going to bounce back, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. We talk about going 3-1 in each quarter of the season, right? We have pretty much done that to this point so far, correct? I mean, the tie makes it a little wonky, obviously, but for the most part. United Bates says, Packers standout tight end Tucker Kraft's knee injury, quote, does not look good. Coach Matt LaFleur told reporters one of Green Bay's best could be out for the long-term, rap sheet reported. So that's sounding like it's – listen, I have no inside information, obviously, but I would be very, very, very pleased if it's not season ending.
Right.
So it is what it is, right?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Prime Erica 21.
Get mad, Clayton. Sorry.
All right, that's a sweet profile pic, though. That's a good looking guy right there. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. This team will not accomplish anything in the playoffs with a coach that plays with no continuity. Pack sucks. Get rid of LaFleur. He's the
screenshot it for the Super Bowl run. Screenshot it.
Also, he didn't spell Kool-Aid right, which is most offensive. Come on,
that's actually the truth.
Listen, coming from a trailer park kid growing up,
that
really pisses me off that you spell Kool-Aid. I'm just going to be honest with you. But hey, man, thanks for swinging through, man. Listen, we can agree to disagree on the floor. I just can't get on board with the 12th winningest coach in NFL history being, being a coward, and that's the reason they suck. So, the continuity comment. At times, I agree with that. There's like, hey, man, you got something working, stay with it type thing, So I can get on board with that, I guess. But thanks, Brian. Appreciate you swinging through. Green Marble said, Doomers can't wait for us to lose one game. Jeez, it's so true, man. Yeah. And they're the same people. Like, you could tell. That's why I blocked a couple people on the channel. It's like, if the only time I hear from you is when you're negative, then doesn't that make you a troll? Like, if you never comment when things are going good, if you never comment when things are positive, like Eric Sutherland, he's up sometimes, he's down sometimes, right? That's all of us. But when only time I hear from you on X or in the YouTube comments is just negative. There's a couple of them, boy, in the pregame or in the in-game chat in our post-game show, and ironically, they're not in here right now. Funny how that works, right?
Yep.
It's just let me hop in the chat, let me spam a bunch of negative crap during the game. And what's funny is I've had so many people, they don't know this, but I've got so many people that reach out to me like, hey, I just blocked him. This dude's a jerk, man. He's really bringing the mood down. Gotcha. So eventually I go, all right, let's just hide them from the channel. The beautiful thing about hiding them from the channel is they don't know they're hidden. So they're just out there talking. Out there hanging out, Emilio, like you. They're out there like Emilio on the dance floor at the Cotton Eye Joe on a Saturday night.
I'm telling you, Cotton Eye Joe.
Everybody's watching and nobody cares.
Yeah, Clay, Cotton Eye Joe looks different at night versus during the day. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I would agree with that. Chester Marco says we're still in first place. That is true. We'll hit on that in a minute, man. Go ahead, Jake. Ruin everybody's night. I'm sure you've got wonderful information.
I'm so sorry. Breaking news just broke. The Green Bay Packers are still awaiting results on the MRI, but the initial belief is that Tucker Kraft did tear his ACL. Poor rap sheet.
There it is.
Fudge muffins.
It's the heart and soul of this team, dude, man. God, it sucks, dude. That is so much worse than the loss.
That is so much
I would
worse.
rather have us gotten beat by 63 points today by Carolina than to lose Tucker Kraft for the year. I hope there's a misdiagnosis there or misreporting, but again,
I feel like if his just that Tuck Norris energy just heals it overnight, he'll just pop up, do the old kip up, as Jen told us, the kip up, and then he'll just be good to go.
Tucker's a tough son of a gun, but
and let me just say this real quick. I love Tucker, and I appreciate him. This is devastating. Torn ACLs are no fun. But people cutting on Tucker saying that, you're trying to use your best offensive player as a run blocker. Dude was our best graded run blocker today. What do you expect a tight end to do? He's an inline tight end. He's gonna play off. We talked about SIF blocking for like 3 years. Okay,
right. No block, no rock.
Right.
4 times last game. You go out and kick it. It happened to be his own player. It was a freak thing. Dude at an 86.3 right now on his 13 run blocking just from this game. It's going to happen, all right? You're going to ask your tight end to block. Yeah, all right, maybe it's more on Fitzpatrick now, but you can't get mad at Matt about Tucker being out. Tucker wants to block. Tucker told us in the offseason, I'm going to be a better blocker this year because that was a bad part of my game last year. So let the dude play this. That's the offense. It's got to happen.
Yeah, I think it's a fair point, man.
True.
For sure. And listen, in terms of people saying that Tucker shouldn't block, it's our first time watching football, guys. Like tight ends are.
You have to be able to block as a tight end in the National Football League. There's no work for you if you can't block.
Yeah, especially Matt LaFleur's offense, Tim. Everything when he got hired, it was. You look at every team that runs a wide zone boot, right, which is essentially the skeleton of this offensive scheme. You got to have tight ends that can block.
Yeah, basically at that point you're asking 5 offensive linemen to road grade 11 people so your running back can get the ball upfield. It's like, dude, what are we talking about? It doesn't even make sense.
Now, I think now that Tucker, if he is indeed out for the season, I think you will see us press into 11 a lot more. And you know what? I'm not saying the team's going to be better without Tucker Kraft. That would be the stupidest comment. Stupidest. That ain't a real word.
That works.
That would be the most ignorant comment in the history of Packers podcast. But you may look up at the end of the year and go, man, this offense really took off when we pressed into 11 because you don't have the horses now to run 12 the way you obviously want to. So that's one thing I would agree with when people say Matt LaFleur is not running the offense he needs to with the roster he's got. I do feel like, and I've been very vocal about this, 11 personnel is where you need to live. And we've been running more 12 this year than we ever have. The numbers are still holding true. I checked it about 3 weeks ago. I'm assuming it hasn't changed too much. But
I want to get us into 10 personnel. I think Matt's going to flip-flop. Now that Tuck's out, I think we could go 21 and 10 a lot because we have
Josh Jacobs and get into 10, right?
Thank you, man. We could go. You can work trips all day long out of 10. You can still do all your games. Maybe we're not in as many nasty splits, but I think Matt and I need to branch out. You saw Jordan when we spread it out in trips. You can march down the field. We hit a 4th and what do you hit? 2 4th downs on that last drive to go ahead and get us tied up or whatever. And you can hit a curl route for 5 yards and move the ball down the field. That's an offense we can run. I think Matt might need to dive into it.
Yeah. King Tron says in the chat, I just can't buy into the Green Bay sucks shouters logic. This team was top 3 last week to all these loudmouth haters. It's so true. Every good team loses when they should win. We have handed we have handed 5 solid teams L's. RELAX. Relax. Very well said. All right, let's get into the box score real quick. Where we at 54-minute mark. I don't know what's going on, but I can't get it to zoom in quite like I have been in the past. I apologize. But let's just jump into it. Jordan Love finishes the day 26 of 37, 273 yards passing, no touchdowns, 1 interception, was sacked 1 time, had a rating of 80.1. He obviously played way better than Bryce Young did, 11 of 20, 102 yards with no touchdowns and 1 interception himself. He was also sacked once as well. Who got that sack? Anybody know? Who was it that had that sack? Let me scroll down here real quick. Just take a look. Remember. Xavier McKinney on the safety blitz.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Got it. That's interesting, right? So running game, Josh Jacobs, 17 carries for 87 yards. He averaged 5.1 a pop. He had 1 touchdown. He had a long of 18 yards. Emmanuel Wilson got stuffed pretty good today. 6 carries, 16 yards, 2.7 average. Only had a long of 7. Receiving wise, Romeo Doubs led the way. 10 targets, 7 catches, 91 yards. No tutters. He did average 13 there a catch. Christian Watson was targeted 4 times, 2 catches, 58 yards, averaged 29 yards a catch. So his average has gone up again. He's got to be around the 25 mark right now. I'm thinking something like that.
I think it's over.
Dude coming back like he never left, dude.
Right.
Just playing big boy football down the field. That was just incredible performance for this guy.
Since we love to complain about the officials, Tim, am I the only one that gets extremely angry?
God dang, Land Clark, you mother.
When they make these players leave the field thinking they got a concussion, when there's like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, they got prop bets too, Clayton. You know, they gotta make their money too, right?
I could be wrong, right? But they made him leave the field, and you've seen him on the sideline say, I thought I read his lips. He said, it's a stinger. Like, you know, you've seen him kind of go limp for a minute, and I know they got to play it safe and this and that, but at what point, like, how do we speed that process up? Because that happened to Micah earlier in the year, and that was a real close game, if you'll remember, right, Tim?
Yeah.
Micah was like, why are they taking me off the field? I don't have a concussion.
Yep. So. But it's tough because, you know, you can't – if a player is concussed and they're waving you off because they want to stay out, it's tough, right? But I think you're right. There's got to be an effort made by the league to try to expedite this a little bit better. You know, it's unfortunate. I mean, you'd rather err on the side of caution, but not to the point where you're going to literally, you know, change the outcome or the momentum of a football game, you know?
Right. I'm just going to leave that off screen since it was such small font. You guys probably can't see it anyway, so I'll just read it off. So Christian Watson, 2 catches for 58 yards. Luke Musgrave, 3 targets, 3 grabs, 34 yards, average 11 yards a catch. So like you said, Emilio, pretty good day at the office for Musgrave. Chris Brooks, by the way, love that dude. 2 targets, 2 catches, 24 yards. He made a huge play. Was that a 3rd or a 4th down that he converted there toward the end?
Yeah.
So awesome play there. Tucker Kraft had 3 targets, 2 catches, 20 yards. Josh Jacobs was targeted 5 times, had 4 catches for 13 yards. You could tell they really keyed in on him. And when they were going to try to pass the ball to Josh Jacobs, whether it was a screen or not, it seemed like they had that a part of their game plan. Like, we're not going to let 8 get the ball in space as much as possible, right? Savion had 2 targets, 2 catches, 12 yards. That fumble, obviously, it was crucial, man. Most important play of the game. And, you know, listen, I understand the play call. I understand why people were upset about it. Last week, nobody was complaining when he got a touchdown on it, right? So you go back to the well again. I know what Matt LaFleur was on his ass about. When you looked at the replay, Emilio, did you notice how many people – there were like 5 white jerseys on him, and he's still trying to make guys miss. At some point, you got to be like, listen, bub, get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Yeah. And that carries over into kickoffs. That carries over into everything in the game. If you didn't like it, I mean, just work yourself to the outside. Your momentum's already taken you there. You ran up on Rome just because, you know, you kind of got yourself stumbled. Then you went outside, went back in. Just get down, man. Just live to fight another day.
Yeah. Eric Sutherland's got an interesting comment. Unfortunately, the Tuck injury may be what the team needs to play more inspired. Do it for Tuck. I know this. Tucker Kraft will be around. Tucker Kraft will be in that tight end room helping those guys get a better grasp of what we're trying to do offensively. There's no doubt about that, man. That dude is just an absolute class act. But, you know, it's funny, as he said that, Jacob Tim, I was kind of thinking I remember thinking that in 2010. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, when not what Eric's saying from the positive standpoint, but all the injuries that happened in 2010, I remember thinking Ryan Grant went down. Who the hell is James Starks? You know,
come on now.
All these guys that got hurt one after another. It's like, well, this ain't the year. Jermichael Finley, this ain't the year, right? And then you go on a run, you get hot at the end, you win the whole thing, right? So maybe there is something to this. Jacob, Tim, what do y'all think?
It's a team game, right? You play for each other. Next man up. That's why they say that, right? And you know, the old phrase, right? There's only good and great players in this league, you know. So even the bottom guy on your depth chart, hell, look at what Carolina just did to us. They just ran through our face all day with third and fourth string offensive linemen up and down the field. So, you know, it's all about how you play as a unit. You know, we just talked about that freak fumble from Savion Williams, like to Emilio's point. That was a timing thing. That play was designed to be timed a little bit better than that, so you're not running into your blocker and creating a traffic jam over there. Things like that happen. Both sides get paid. You know, I don't care. I have faith in everybody on this roster, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be a fan of this team. You know, there's a reason they put this team together. We're going to see what the depth on this Green Bay Packers roster looks like down the stretch of this season. And if you think you're going to play, you know, 18 games, 17 game season and not have guys get hurt, I don't know what you're watching. This is just part of football. It happens. You know, it's about the next man up. And I do agree with that. Maybe that inspires these guys that are, you know, lower on the depth chart to really step up and make an impact. We saw Luke Musgrave answer the call today. I don't care what anyone says. That man came out there and did his damn job, and looks like he's going to have to continue to be that guy going forward. And, you know, you love it. You want to see that, right? You want to see your guys step up when you lose your key players, for sure.
And they even went back to Savion after he fumbled it, right? Same sort of kind of play, get him to the outside, and he got us a first down, right? So it's like
exactly
you'll run into that. But again, another learning lesson for a young player, that it's Matt. You saw Matt chew him out right away, right? That's exactly what you need to do. You got to know where you got to know where you are on the field, what's going on. But it's something that the team can build from. A lot of learning experiences in this game.
Yeah. There was a comment here I wanted to hit. Joe Pack Joe. Well, let me hit this one first. Rodney Jen 7423 or 7430. Thank you, buddy. Maybe Musgrave just needs time. I'd love to start blooming again. That's the thing too, man. Like, he's not getting the majority of the reps in practice unless they're in 12 personnel, right? So Tucker's obviously going to get those reps with Jordan in 11. It can't get worse, right? Like, from a standpoint, they're not going to take a step back because they're getting more reps together. So I think that's a good positive take there. We'll see. I'm personally not a Musgrave believer. And this is coming from the guy who was over the moon when we drafted him. I thought it was an excellent draft pick. I have since changed my mind and felt like, this ain't the guy. But you never know. You get those extra reps, like Rodney's saying, it could be the case. I hope you're right, Rodney. I hope it does work that way for sure, man. Joe Pack Joe NC said, first time in his career, Micah had 0 pressures in a game. That's pretty wild. That's wild, especially against the offensive lineman that's backed up, if that's true, of course. And it depends on where you get your pressure stats from. Is it NFL Pro? Is it PFF?
PFF has him as 1 right now, but that's still prelim.
I thought there was 1 after they showed that stat on Fox, but yeah.
Do they have a prelim grade for him?
They do. He was our second graded player at an 80.2.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good in the run game. One of the few bright spots. It just seemed like a couple of times he was back there making a good stop on a run. Although you look at the stats, you wouldn't think anybody had a decent game against the run.
Right. So. But 53 snaps out of a total of 58. So, and I mean, the one time was that 4th and 1 or whatever, they got it, and Micah wasn't on the field. We were still asking, I mean, from the beginning, how many snaps is Micah going to get? I thought it was going to be more of a line rotation. That dude's out there, and I do appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. So the rest of the defense, Xavier McKinney, 9 tackles, 1 sack. Also had a pass deflected or pass defended, whatever it's called. Adrian Cooper had 8 tackles. Evan Williams had 8 tackles. Quay Walker had 7 tackles according to QB hit. And then you had Micah Parsons with a tackle for a loss. Obviously, that was a running play we were just talking about. So, yeah, Javon Bullard did give up an explosive play, missed the tackle in the hole. Yeah. Well, that'll make chalk talk. We got to watch that and see exactly what happened. Sometimes I say that on the post game, go back and rewatch and go, nah, it actually wasn't his gap. He shouldn't have been there in the first place. An extra body doesn't mean it's a negative, right? So, King Tron with the super chat. Coping while throwing dimes to 85 on Madden right now. That's how you do it. Turn it down to rookie. And start chucking that thing over the top, Emilio. Let it fly. You know what I'm saying?
Emilio plays on rookie.
Oh, yeah, all the time. But, yeah, that's the only way to get through it, King. You know what I mean? Get your boy a couple touchdowns, maybe get him MVP, just force feed him the rest of the season, see how it goes.
Yeah, thank you for the super chat, Tron. Chester Markle says Hafley does have some food for thought, though. That run defense was puzzling. I want to see the linebacker PFF grades. It can't be good. A lot of people were complaining about Quay and Edgerrin Cooper in the run fits on Twitter. Emilio, do we have any kind of preliminary grade for those two cats?
Yes, our third best graded player would be Isaiah McDuffie with 19 snaps at a 74 flat. Edgerrin Cooper would be our fourth graded player at a 72.6. He had all 58 snaps. And Mr. Quay Walker would be eighth with a 62-1 with all 58 snaps. Honestly, our backers, kind of kept us in, and I think they were playing pretty decent. Yeah, they had a couple hiccups here and there, but it was our D-line that had the issues. Not that it was terrible, but we were getting our gaps weren't sound, or we were getting cracked, or we were getting turned or something, and it just ended up being a long day.
If you're fully dependent on your backers to help you in your run D, you're in trouble. And that's what we saw for sure.
But we have the speed there. I mean, you see Coop close out. You see him close out on
We just need that push up front though to go in tandem with those backers, right?
Yep.
There you go. Yeah. Super chat here. Do you got one right there? No, we just hit that one right. Super chat from Caterpillar says, hit that like, y'all. The guys need it today. Laughing emoji. Yes, we do, sir. We all do. We all need that like today. And to explain my username, I work for Caterpillar, facility MW2, and I often show system videos from YouTube. So y'all can just call me Cat, LOL. Change your name.
That's good to know, though, Clay. Sometimes we run into a problem with the equipment, you know what I mean? And knowing a cat deal, you know what I'm saying? So
runs like a cat.
I'm kind of with that.
Emilio needs a new skid steer, man.
Hit me up later, man, for sure.
You got to watch Cat. He'll come at you looking for a bargain, man.
I'll take a little 300. I'll take a 300 excavator or something. We could work something out, man. I could do it.
You got an extra one sitting around.
I'm just saying. We could put one away. We could spin it on the wheel. I'm just saying.
We'll also accept sponsorships from Caterpillar as well.
Oh, now we're talking, Tim.
Sponsor the show. There you go. So thank you for the super chat, Cat. Appreciate you, buddy. He said, I got the hook.
Scared money don't make money.
As Mandy says, scared money don't spend money. You know what I'm saying? Spending like going out of style. So, every time I see Eric So's comment, I want to.
I was gonna say,
I know it's going to be video, but it's also going to be this canceled. So
that ain't bad.
All right, go ahead and read it, Jacob. I'm gonna pull the standings.
He said, Amelia, my kid said thanks to your Glover comment, pissed me off, and then I got them grounded for a week. Come on, man.
Hey,
Emilio.
He did it on. I know he did it on purpose. 2 days after Halloween, he's got the garbage bags over in his bedroom. He dragged them all into his room and said, "I'm going to give you 2."
I don't give a shit if it's Halloween.
Thank you, because he's only giving them 2 pieces a night for the next week, and he can keep the rest. I know your plan, Eric. Come on now.
Oh, that is hilarious, man. Let's hit the standings here for the love of God here. B. Timmy said 68-yard field goal. What's he talking about there? What is this? Somebody hit a 68-yard?
I did.
Huh?
No, Jacob, not 68-year-old. 68-yard.
All right.
I'm
leaving the chat.
Jacob's going to go get cleaned up real quick. Here's the playoff seeding as it sits right now. The Philadelphia Eagles are your 1 seed at 6-2. Tampa Bay 2 at 6-2. Number 3 is the Seattle Seahawks at 5-2. The Packers are the 4 seed at 5-2. Rams 5 seed at 5-2. 49ers are the 6 seed at 6-3. Detroit Lions are now the 7 seed at 5-3. The Bears are the 8th seed with the same record as the Lions at 5-3. That's getting real interesting. And then you got the Carolina Panthers in the number 9 spot. So the Carolina Panthers are knocking on the playoff door, but we're supposed to pretend like losing to the last-second field goal for them was the end of the Packers franchise. It's wild. Yeah. So there we go. RSC said the Jags kicker just broke the record.
There it is. The same kid that did it in preseason. You guys remember that one in preseason?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Bates got it right here. Cam Little Jags just hit a 68-yarder. Is that good? High score. What does that mean?
What does that mean? Just appreciate that info, guys. Super chat from Chris C says, I feel much better after the loss. Thanks for giving us a platform to talk it out. Hey, absolutely, Chris. And again, man, it's not to listen. I got a little heated on the top of the show. I don't have time for that, man. I wait all year for football season to get here. People come. 90% of the comments tonight were negative. Would y'all agree? right? Tron's the only one keeping us sane in here tonight, right? We're all pissed off. But
Facebook is off the chain, bro. It's
all
terrible.
I'm convinced that most of those are just troll accounts. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get a stir out of people. But Chris, thank you so much for the kind words, man. That's probably the best compliment we can get. Again, we typically talk about this offline before we go live after a loss. Listen, guys, everybody else is pissed off. Let's come in here. Let's try to pick it up. Let's talk about what happened, what went wrong. But let's have a good time, right? Everybody leaving a bit.
Just like Go Fish said, not everyone gets the platform.
There you go.
We're a different kind out here. We're a different breed, right, Clay?
Boy, that's the
living up in the hills, up in the holler.
And it's not like that we don't feel that same pain. We just choose to express it in a different way because, hey, this is a fan. We're fans of the Packers, guys. That's why we kind of did this whole like podcast thing for the last years.
And what it's going to matter for the rest of the night. Maybe tomorrow you wake up upset, you slam 2 cups of coffee. Tuesday morning we're doing chalk talk at night, and then what happens? We're playing the Eagles. Like, I mean, it's what do you think the players are going to do? Yeah, they don't get Victory Monday. Yeah, they're going to come in and have to work. Okay, so we got Victory Monday last week. They normally get the day off. All right, fine. We're coming back in on Monday. We got to work this week. We got that loss. You got to put your head down. This is like. I mean, this is when Jacob was in high school. It was like, all right, I just failed that test, but the report card's coming out in 2 weeks. I got to show up next week. I got to get that grade up.
Yeah, and listen.
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
For me to say and listen, I'm not going to, so quit asking. Listen, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. After a loss, you probably caught on. I don't go, man, this is horrible. This team sucks. I immediately try to reverse engineer. What happened? What went wrong? Right. And the thing that I can't wait to dive into is try to understand what happened in the trenches, because we have arguably the best run defense in the league. We're definitely top 3. And they ran it down our throat. There's got to be a reason why. Kobe Wooden going out doesn't help. Right now, Emilio, you read off the linebacker grades. That would make you think maybe the interior defensive lineman graded bad, unless
they did. No, they did. Yeah. The interior was Carl Brooks at a 55.4. Devontae at a 53.8 and Kobe at a 44.9. All prelims, but those were our bottom 4.
Got it. And when he says prelim, guys, just understand those grades are subject to change. PFF tries to get that information out as quick as possible. And I need to say, because people will rake me over the coals for this, I'm not saying PFF is everything. I'm not saying it's the grand poobah of grading the tape. It's one metric we can use. We're going to watch the tape ourselves. We'll break that down on Wednesday for you guys and gals. Go ahead, Jacob. What you got there, man?
It's Emilio or somebody.
King Tron, he just said he's up 106-7 on the Bears already.
The rookie numbers. Get it up, Tron. Let's go, buddy. I want to see you hit 200 by the end of the game, man. I need a screenshot on Twitter, too. Sorry. All right, let's talk about the division standings real quick, all right? Let's start with the North, and we'll go across the rest of the NFC. In the NFC North, the Packers are still in first place at 5-2-1 over the Detroit Lions. We're sitting at 5-3. The Bears are at 5-3. Semi-tied with them. Detroit's got the tiebreaker there in the divisional standings. And then the Minnesota Vikings are sitting at 4-4. The big thing that sticks out to me is the Lions are playing really good football, guys. We can't deny that. You look at their differential, their point differential, scoring differential is a +61. It's better than the Packers at a +40. That tie that everybody was so angry about is what's keeping us in first place right now, which is why every single snap, every single game matters in the National Football League. I like where we're at. Would have loved to have taken advantage of the Panthers today and win this ball game and create a little bit of separation there in the North. But we got a gift from the Vikings today with the Lions losing at home. That just goes to show you, man. Did anybody expect a rookie quarterback who hasn't played in several weeks in J.J. McCarthy to go into Detroit and beat the Lions? And when they're coming off of some of their best football. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings point differential right now is a -4. You know what I'm saying? And here they go into Detroit and win the ball game any given Sunday. As that kick went through the uprights, the first thing that came into my mind with this Packers loss was this is an opportunity to get this team refocused and achieve that, what am I trying to say? The ceiling that they have that we seen last week in Pittsburgh, obviously in the second half. And you got to put a whole game together. That's the big thing, right? It seems like it's the tell of two half. Last week, played a horrible first half, came out rallied in the second half, won the ball game. Today, it was just like you put it together at the very end. They were just able to go down the field on you there at the end, too. Does anybody have any problems with that final drive? By the way, I needed to ask that. Does anybody have a problem with that final drive? Like the fact that they went right down the field on us. Essentially, that's what happened, right, guys? They went right down the field on us and kicked that game-winning field goal. Does anything stick out to you from a schematic standpoint? Anything at all that you go, I really didn't like how that was called? Because I just felt like they took what they gave you or took what you gave them. And in all honesty, man, they just ran the ball down our throat, right?
Yeah. And then when we sold out against the run too little, too late, they lit us up over the top. So it was just a bad scenario down the end. But I'm with you, Clay. I'd have liked to seen, a 3-and-out from our defense and get the ball back, and then we win it with a field goal. But no, it was just a tough look there at the end. I thought they could have held him and at least gave him a little bit longer of a kick. I think it was 49 yards or something.
49.
Yeah, be nice to push them out beyond, well beyond 50 there with the conditions and everything. But yeah, it was just difficult at the end.
Yeah, once they broke that long one, it was one of those where you almost want them to break it all the way and give J Love another shot at offense. If they don't get down, sort of thing, and they just go down and score, you get Love another shot. But yeah, that last drive was kind of just the accumulation of our interior D line having a problem and just not being, completely sound on our gaps in the run game. Hey, if that's what we had to do, okay, we're going against Rico Dowdle this week. What happens next week when we're going against Saquon? So we need to hammer that out now. If this brought up some shells, some issues, some holes in the cheese, then we need to figure that out.
Yeah. Next week is really gonna paint a really, really clear picture on who this Packers team is, right? Are we truly in the top 3 in the NFC, or is it, hey, at times we can be, but they're just not there yet? And I know people hate hearing it, but sounds like I just described the youngest team in the league. But Gerald McKenzie just became a member on YouTube. Thank you so much for the support. Everybody out there that's been supporting the channel, we appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
AFAM says we're stuck in neutral, so I don't know what you're upset about, man. Your Chiefs won. What do you mean they're stuck in neutral? Yes. And then he did say hire Joe Barry. So there you go.
Yeah.
And thanks for swinging through, sir. Anything else y'all want to hit on? We're at the hour 16 mark. We'll get ready to wrap up.
I pulled this up real quick, Clay. Just this. The 2 columns pay attention to. We're still 1-0 in the division, and we're still 3-1-1 in the conference. The only teams better are the Eagles and Tampa, pretty much, conference-wise. Besides that, you're looking at Vikings in the division at 2-0. Like, we're still in the driver's seat. We still are squared away. You win your division first, and then you go from there. We got to win against the team on our heels. So we just need to Matt needs to get their heads down. They need to grind this week. It's going to be a battle against the Eagles. If you can go put the Eagles at 5-2 in the conference and you go to 4-1-1, I think you still have that better record or you'd have that better percentage than them in that. So it'll be a big game.
Yeah. To Milo's point, also look at where the Carolina Panthers are, guys. They have 5 wins. Oh, yeah. They're second in their division. This was not a gimme game. As much as we maybe want to sit here and pretend like it was, 5 wins, 4 losses. They're right up there with Detroit. They're right up there with Chicago. They're right there with the over Washington. Like this is not a bad team. We had a bad day today, 100% for sure. Is it something we're going to sit here and make excuses over? No, absolutely not. But and I also want to highlight Eric Lillen. He says, sorry for the negativity early. I didn't mean to offend anyone. I'm truly grateful for all you guys do, and everyone in the chat makes it fun. God bless you all. Dude, that's exactly what my thought. And don't get me wrong. I came in here with my piss was so hot. I was so pissed.
Toxic. He was toxic.
I was ready to just burn this thing down.
He was saying words that offended me.
It's in all seriousness though. Like I know a lot of us got heated at the beginning because we love this team so much that the fact that we express our emotions after, if they lose, then it's going to be terrible. If they win, it's going to be euphoric. And, to Milo's point, we'll get over this. It'll take me probably about till Wednesday, but we'll get there.
Love the honor.
You think God never farted?
Yeah, you think God never sharded? That's the real question. Stuff happens, bro. It happens. So, and that's what happened today is the Packers dropped a tough one, 16-13. We're just going to call it the shark game from here on out, right?
Yeah, there you go.
We got one more question here I'm going to take because Tron was really generous with all the super chats. King Tron says, serious question. And I'm sure I'm just ignorant. Welcome to the club. You're in good company here, and probably wrong here. But Clay, why do we always struggle with the run? Talking about running the football on offense, you think that's probably what he's talking about, right? Running the football.
I thought it maybe be on defense is what he's saying.
Today it definitely applied. The reality, Tron, is we don't struggle with the run. I would say this is the first game of the year where we truly did struggle with the run, right? And I do know this. I'm excited about jumping into tape because they had a lot of moving parts. You had a lot of sift and pull and this and that. And I think what it did was created some hesitation up front for the defensive front where they couldn't truly penetrate. I could be wrong, but I just got to look at the tape, Tron, to kind of truly understand, right, what happened there. If you're talking about that. In terms of us running the ball, coming in this week, that seemed to be a common theme all year is, man, we just can't get the running game going, right? And that's where I looked up and was like, I thought we run the ball pretty effectively with Josh Jacobs. Obviously, it was a different story with Emmanuel Wilson. So hopefully that answered your question, buddy. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the kindness here today. We're going to do a giveaway. Listen, I don't have a giveaway set for tonight. We're going to do one here probably later on the week. We got the Romeo Dobbs autographed jersey giveaway coming up Wednesday, and that's attached to the charity that we had there with operationhorseshill.org. Let me get that out of the way and get that jersey sent off and all that good stuff, and then we'll reset next week and do another giveaway. We got 2 more cards going out that were just one. I think I've got a rookie LVN card and no better time. He should be coming back here real soon, right? He obviously didn't go on IR, so hopefully we'll get him back at practice as well. It's another first-round pick that we were missing today, and he is, I think, a pretty darn good run defender at edge, so we could have used him, no doubt. Rodney Jens says, hey, I'm so old. I remember when the Packers were lucky to win 8 games a year. Yep. The cardiac kids. So, yeah.
So true.
Man. Could always be worse.
Yeah. I survived the 80s. I'm still here. We'll be all right, guys.
And for real, 2 losses and a tie by 6 total points. And we're mad at our defense. We've only given up 40 once. We've been under 20 basically the rest of the season. It's like, yeah, there you go.
Justice for beach balls.
Did you see that? Poor
man.
Awesome.
That was the most thing ever.
I was waiting for the tackle to just belly flop on it on the field. You know what I mean?
Tim, who has a beach ball in Green Bay, man? What's going on up there?
Oh, everybody, man. Come on. It was a little windy out there today for a beach ball, though.
I just love to see the cat that blew that thing up in the stands. He was
in between poles on the long dart. Yeah, for sure.
That was hilarious. So I know the announcers thought it was great. Lambeau's just such a special place, man. And today, boy, he played a factor, didn't it? That wind out there gusting around. So
that's how football's supposed to be played, though. Outdoors in the elements, man.
Even when it doesn't.
Even if it don't help you.
Right. Exactly. Last comment here, Jason Y. Big listener of the show. K9 is a liability. That seems like a very negative, toxic comment, Jason. I agree with you, man. I've gotten to the point where the first 4 or 5 weeks, he's leading the league in pass breakups. You're going, this dude is playing. He's a true number 1 corner. I can't believe what I'm saying. And now it feels like here recently he's very grabby, there's a couple times too. I'm just waiting for him to get called for taunting because he gets right in people's faces after he makes a play. It's like, clear. Hey, instead of taking the time to celebrate in front of them, clear your mind, get set for the next play. Remember the film study. What are they showing in trips, in Trey? What's the look here? What do they like to do with cheat? Like, I don't know, man. That's what makes K9 great too, is him being emotional, right? When he makes a play, you get pumped up and you see him react. Do y'all think that he's off base with that? Because I've got to agree. I'm kind of feeling the way Jason is with this comment. Am I wrong there?
I'm not quite there yet. I think I'd give him a little more leeway, like, because you said he shows flashes and he shows that he has the capability. I do think that his biggest problem is his own self, is that he gets too emotional and he can get himself, I think, turned around. Whereas if he was playing with a more straight lace kind of mentality, that maybe he doesn't get burned on certain situations and he doesn't make the stupid plays after the whistle is blowed. But
right. What about you guys? We'll go around the horn with it. Tim, how do you feel, man? Okay, now.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet either. But I will say that there's a spotlight and a microscope on him right now. And we can talk about the attitude and things like that. That's one of the things I like about it. I think he brings a degree of chippiness to the field, but you're right. You got to play under control and you can't end up costing us. I will say this though, that call in the back of the end zone was a little ticky-tack today.
I agree.
That looked like just playing football in the NFL. And of course we saw Carolina get away with the exact same thing numerous times. So I think with K9, it's more like to Jacob's point, trust yourself, trust your athletic ability and your skills and finish these plays out. And don't worry about anything but the next play, just keep that focus on in front of you. And I don't want to say keep your head in the game. I'm not saying his head's not in the game, but I just feel like we got to be a little bit more patient. I think K9 will respond at some point. I don't think he's a full-on liability. I don't think he can be in this cornerback room because, it's getting a little thin in there beyond what we have right now. So I'm going to put my faith in Long Beach, California's own Keyshawn Nixon, and I'm gonna let him keep working and just trust that he's going to learn from this tape. He's going to watch this just like we are. He'll probably watch it more than we do, and we watch a lot of tape on this podcast. So if anyone's going to learn from a mistake, I think it's Keyshawn. So I get where Jason's coming from, though. I mean, certainly the spotlight is there, right?
Absolutely. Emilio, what do you think about K9? Do you have a prelim grade on him by chance too, or no?
Yes. Sorry. So Keyshawn, still love the guy. I think that he's not playing horribly against where he's put right now. We have Keyshawn at a 66.6. Played every snap at 58. He was the 6th graded player, but he had a coverage grade of 63.3. But again, 2 targets, 1 reception, 1 yard. So
yeah. So outside of the penalty, that's what's messing me up, isn't it? Is that penalty that was
right. And again, the other 2 corners we had Valentine 5 targets, 4 catches, 47 yards, and Nate Hobbs 2 targets, 1 reception for 22 yards. Again, Bryce Young only went for 102 yards. So it's not like they were cutting
insane,
us up.
Bro.
And when Micah was talking in his interviews this week, he was saying, the defensive back, the secondaries, they kind of need to get used to. We were worried about getting cut up underneath, because the ball's coming out at a different time when we didn't have that kind of pass rush last year. We were a delayed blitz, the sim pressure, that sort of stuff. So the DBs had to play off, had to get a little bit more in coverage deeper down the field. We maybe played a little bit stronger in coverage this game, but we weren't getting that pass rush and that the ball out quickly like we were normally used to. He was able to sit in there, climb the pocket, move around. So I think that, you're trying to find that timing as a DB based off of where your D-line is at, and we just didn't have that timing up this week.
Got it. Casey Oldham in the chat said Packers will beat Philly by 10. Book it. Wouldn't it be hilarious? They just come back and beat the reigning Super Bowl champion, number 1 seed team in the NFC. Just beat them by 10 points. That would be the most Packer thing ever. Appreciate you, Casey. Just to give you guys an update what's going on right now, and we'll wrap up. Jaguars are currently trailing the 2-5 Raiders 6-3, all right, in the third quarter there. So Raiders 2-5, Jaguars 4-3. You've got the Rams beating the Saints 20-10. The Rams are obviously 5-2, looking to improve to 6-2.
What do you mean? The Rams should be beating the Saints 56-0 right now.
Exactly. They always play down to their opponent. This is disgusting. That's the best one.
Fire them all.
Yeah. Buffalo Bills 5-2 at home against the Chiefs, who are 5-3. The Bills, oh no, A-fam. The Bills are 21-10.
Stay off the ledge, brother. Stay off the ledge.
Shut up. You see this right here, though. You see the fact that the Chiefs are at the 1 yard line about to punch it in. Y'all shut up. Quit trolling. You can respect that. All right. And then the Sunday night game of the week will be the Seahawks at the Commanders. That might be a fun game to watch.
Good game. That's a good game.
Get a little fire going downstairs. We got a turkey breast slow cooking right now. We a little
early for turkey play, huh?
He's pre-gaming Thanksgiving. I like it.
You got to get it ready, Emilio. You know how this goes.
Did I notice that you have a little fireplace behind you now? Is that a thing? Oh, we can't see it, bro.
Nice job.
There we go. Look at that little thing.
It's the season. Wait for the Christmas tree to come out.
That fireplace is faker than that run defense today.
Oh, come on now.
It was bad. It's a little fake, little.
Oh boy.
Little something. We're out of here. This show sucks. Thank y'all so much for the super chats. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you tomorrow. No Victory Monday.
Oh.
Tim, give me just some kind of drop here. No Victory Monday. Just something to help.
There, that says it all. Rome says it all. No Victory Monday. That's the look we're going to have when we wake up tomorrow.
Yeah. Fishy Thing said never a bad time for turkey. I know when they pull that thing out of the oven, slow cooked, I'm going to go.
Get over here.
Built to ass. BTA. Know what I'm saying?
All right, we're out, guys. Thank y'all for the super chat. Y'all are way too generous. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll probably go live midday at some point, a little short stream, something that's on my mind. We'll probably hit that. And then we'll be back tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central for PTA Live. And we'll just start to break down the PFF grades, dive into that a little bit. and hit anything else on social media, give you guys an update. Probably have an update on Tucker tomorrow. I don't think any of us want to hear it, obviously. So prayers out to 85, heart and soul of this team. Get well soon.
Agent Zero as well. Matthew Golden with the shoulder
Injury. There's all kinds of them, right? Watson was forced to leave there for a minute. Looked like a stinger. Tucker Kraft with the knee. Aaron Banks left. Kobe Wooden left. Yeah. So, Bates, let's thank you guys. Go back. Go pray for the guinea pigs and positive. Keep positive vibes. There you go. We're going to end it with that. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Bye. I don't know why y'all tune in. This show sucks so.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.